No, which one? Yep, it was Texas. I've been Illinois, Texas, different parts of the world. So, yeah, I moved down here from Texas, and before recovery. Yeah, I was drowning in crack cocaine. That was my drug of choice, crack cocaine. And so the crazy part about it is that I had 23 years, 23 years clean and sober, right? And I relapsed. That was crazy. And what I learned from that relapse when I came back, the reason why I came back is because I had a reference point. Because it didn't make a difference how, if I didn't have enough money or if I couldn't pay my bills or whatever. But the best part about recovery to me was just being recovered. And I love that. I love not smoking crack. I love not waking up and being broke. I love not my house was a crack house. I love that I didn't have that anymore. And when I relapsed, I had a reference point. And in my reference point, I was like, I'm going back to recovery. Because this is what's it. I didn't want to be out there like geeking and tripping and I lost so much behind my drug addiction. I started doing drugs in the 80s. And it was like in 1987 when the crack cocaine, hit the scene, and everybody was getting cracked up. And I was part of that epidemic, And I come from a family, I'm originally from Chicago. I'm trying to capture myself. Let me see this back a little bit. I had, the name of my organization is called No Limit Recovery. No Limit Recovery is based on drama, music, and lecture. And God, I believe in God. That's it. That's all for me. I ain't trying no crystals, no sage, no nothing. That's all I got is Christ Jesus in my life. And so he gave me this logo right here. And No Limit Recovery represents there's no limit to love. There's no limit to stars in the sky. There's no limit to water, which is indicative of the Holy Spirit. And there's no limit to the sands on the seashore. And this is the lighthouse right here, which is going out and searching for people who we could connect and stay clean and sober. And, in the name of Jesus. And so, and I plan on taking it around the world. So with that in mind, if you have your phone with you today, if you could pull it out and you can go on my webpage. To be living an abundant life in recovery doesn't mean that we're going to be like rich, famous, all that kind of stuff like that.
But we'll do your thing.
Yeah, right there.
Do your thing. That's what I'm talking about.
But what we thank you.
What's it called?
No Limit Recovery.
Girl, you gave me goosebumps.
And so what we're gonna do is that we're gonna achieve and we're gonna accomplish and we're gonna become our greatest advocate for life. Because nobody said that we had to be a drug addict all our life. I relapsed a lot of times. And then I had lost so much behind the crack cocaine epidemic. It really, I don't know, drug addiction, period. I don't care if it's opiate, crack cocaine, fentanyl, heroin, alcohol. It's going to tear us down if we continue to make it our lover. Because that's what my drug of choice became to me. It became my lover. And a little poem about my drug addiction. It says, goodbye, my goodbye letter. I don't know if y'all wrote it. Y'all take an opportunity to do a goodbye letter to your drug of choice. And it says, goodbye crack cocaine. You and I go a long way back. I have known you for a long time. When we first met, we did not get along too good. But as months went by, we became close friends. And then you became my lover, right? I remember waking up with a pipe in my hand and taking a hit and going back to sleep or geeking or doing something. You ever remember just getting up and looking for alcohol, or looking for a pill to pop, or looking for a needle, or looking for some dope because your body was going through withdrawals? You know? And so I had to say goodbye to my drug addiction. I had to bury it for once and for all. And so then I said, and then you became my lover. I put aside all the things that mattered to me, my kids, my husband, my family, and then as I did that, you started dogging me out. Don't tell me our drug addiction won't dog us out. It kicks us to the curb so quick, but we're still women. We are such natural nurturers. And we always run into, I don't know about y'all, but me, I always run into the thing that don't do me no good. Be like, come on, I love you, crack. Come on back. Don't do me like that. You know, it became my lover. And so what happened is that I still loved you no matter what. I went out of my way for you. Because of you, I became hungry. I became homeless. I became ashamed. I became embarrassed. I became lost. I thought I became suicidal. What? I wanted to take myself out. And then I lost weight. They back then in the days, they used to have a song that said the rock man got them and their butt just dropped. I don't know if y'all know that. But that's what it said. And I was there. One day, I would walk past the mirror in my house. And I guarantee you, I seen the skeleton of me. And I was like, that was death looking at me. That was death saying, I'm going to come get you. Keep on doing what you're doing. Like they say that thing, fuck around and find out. And a lot of my friends fucked around and found out. I overdosed once or twice. But anyway, it destroyed me. And so I said, I hated you and left you, and you hated me and left me for dead. That's what my drug addiction had did for me. And I said, I hate you, crack cocaine, for what you did to me. But I found a new friend, and his name is Recovery. Just as I went out all my way for you, I will go out all my way for Recovery, because he loves me and has shown me a new way of life. And this is the position that we have to align ourselves with. You know, as a active or known drug addict, there's no way that I could continue to tease my drug addiction. Say like I'm not using crack cocaine, but I'm a full-blown drug addict. You know what I'm saying? I can't say, oh, I'm gonna chill out a little bit, but I'm just gonna drink. I know that's what happened to me. True story. 22 years, but I still was fooling around with a guy who smoked crack. But I was already in position to relapse because I started drinking Long Island iced tea. It got me. And then when it got me, when I told my boyfriend, because I was trying to keep him, you know, you don't have to go out there with people. You can smoke crack in the garage. Big dummy. I set myself up so good. And then when I went to the garage, I'm all drunk. I'm drunk off of Long Island iced tea. You know? So it didn't take nothing for that relapse to really go full-fledged, okay? Oh, so let me try it. Let me try it. Give it back to me, you know. I don't think I'm gonna get like what I used to be. Baby, what? In a week, it's like you thought I was on some lean or something. I was out selling stuff. I never really sold my body. I think I did a couple of times, but not just I was out there, you know. I was a working addict. So the dope man know if you're a working addict, you got your money, they'll wait till you get paid. Even if you got food stamps, they took the food stamps, they did everything. So I say that my drug addiction was a horror show. And when it became a horror show, I became engulfed in shame and guilt. And some of y'all seen me do this before, but, oh, yeah, I have became engulfed in shame. A sophisticated crackhead. I mean, y'all thought y'all was sophisticated and you was like drunk, like, off your tail, or high off your tail, and you still thought you was cute with it.
Oh, yeah.
It was nothing cute about it, right? I thought I was like, I had this professional jobs. That's one thing about drug addiction, that it is not prejudice, right? It's like water. It'll hit the po-po, it'll hit the rich, it'll hit the middle class, it'll hit people in foreign countries. Drug addiction is all over the world. It even will attack the baby in the womb. Okay? I experienced that. My last baby was born crack addicted. So I'm thinking I'm some kind of sophisticated, drug addict, and nobody knew it. I would dress up and put on my prancy clothes and all this kind of stuff like that. But it didn't take much for my drug addiction to come out and be revealed. I came up out of this right here. And when I became a slave, nobody could tell me nothing. I had transgressed myself as a human being. And I solely depended on my drug addiction. And it will only let me go this far. I couldn't go nowhere. I thought I was doing something. I thought I was making moves. But no, I was still enslaved in my drug addiction. And it was really sad because I always said, I want to get off of it. I want to get off of it. But the more I said I wanted, the chain kept rattling and it stopped me from going any further. It would stop me from reaching my visions and dreams. It would stop me from reaching my hope. It would stop me from reaching the things that I wanted to do in life. And I couldn't make it until one day I was sitting down and I was watching TV, because judgment was on my life. Either I was going to live, or I was going to die. And I didn't want to die as a drug addict. And so judgment was on my life. And I just come off a binge. And when I came off the binge, the TV was on. And the man on the TV, he said to me, through the TV, ta-da! You come out the darkness, you come out the shame. But he said to me through the TV, he said, are you a drug addict? I'm like, you talking to me? On the TV. And I was like, I looked at the TV, I was like, yeah, I am. And so then he said, call this number. See, this is when I had my reference point. Whenever you come back to treatment, when you relapse, you have a reference point of being clean and sober. You have a wake-up call or somebody tell you, you better get some help. You still want to change your life. You still have your light burning somewhere deep down inside of you. It's still there because you don't want to continue to be a drug addict. And so that man said, take this number down. I took that number down and I wrote it down and I said, I called them people and I had good insurance. I didn't know how good my insurance was. And I called the treatment center and they said, Miss Lucas, you need $6,000. And I said, I don't have no $6,000. And then God spoke to me in the midst of my mess. Because he will. He'll speak to you in the midst of your mess. And he spoke to me and he said, I need you to write this down. And I started writing stuff down. He said, I need you to send it off and text it. It was the saddest story ever, but it was the truth. And the man told me, he said, Miss Lucas, I see you really want some help. I said, yes, sir, I do. He said, I'm going to have somebody call you. And he had another man call me. And the man said, Miss Lucas, I see you you're a drug addict, right? I said, yes, sir. He told me. He said, can you be on the plane tomorrow? I'm like, who paying for it? Who gonna pay for me to get on the plane? He said, you got good insurance. I was like, well, I didn't know how good my insurance was. Because at the time I was working for a college, you know. And he said, I said, well, wait a minute, sir. I said, I could be on the plane on Wednesday because it was on a Monday when I talked to him. I said, but let me get myself together on the Tuesday because I was very adamant about getting out of there and saving my life. And so then, here I did. This is how I ended up in Florida. I didn't know nothing about Florida. All I knew was Florida had alligators. That's all I knew. And baby, when I came down here, because I had my reference point of 22 years of being clean and sober, all I knew is that I didn't want to be a drug addict no more. So then, there go the work being put in. But, you know, I had to believe. I had to believe that my life was going to change. You know, and this time I needed to make it. This time I didn't need to keep on making up excuses. This time, and I never looked back. And I did this right here. I'm not computer savvy. And how this happened, I don't even know, really. But it says, and she walked out of hell. God is able to deliver you from drugs. And baby, that fire behind there. And I walked up out of hell of drug addiction. And now it takes a lot to come out because trauma is all bondage up with drug addiction, right? Being from being when I was younger up until when I even got older. I had 5 kids. All of my kids went to DCFS, you know, and my baby was born crack addicted, and then I kept hope alive. I really did. And then this girl right here, this was my oldest daughter. She started using crack cocaine when I was clean and sober within my 22 years. And she was killed and murdered.
Oh my God.
This is my oldest daughter. And she was killed and murdered. Them people, they came, they knocked on my door. They said, boom, 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 boom. Are you the time you look at that? I was like, yeah, who wants to know? Because, you know, anytime you encounter police, it's like, what y'all want? And I encountered them, and they was like, no. They said, do you know DeAndre Lucas? I was like, yeah, that's my baby. And then they said, ma'am, can we come in? I was like, well, come on in. And so then they was like, it's been a homicide. I ain't have no reason to have the vocabulary or thoughts of what a homicide really was. I knew it from an old program or something like that. And then they said, they looked at each other. They said, she's not getting it. They stepped to my face. They said, ma'am, there's a body at the morgue by the name of DeAndre Lucas. She is, it states that you are the mother of her, and you need to go down there and identify her body. What? My daughter? She was shot. She was killed. She was murdered on the streets of Chicago. This is what drug addiction will take us through. Stuff like that. You know, I wanted to jump in the grave with her. You know? God came to me at her gravesite. He said, halt. He said, you can't go where she at, and she cannot come back to you. He said, but what I need for you to do, I need for you to embrace the time that you had with her. And I said, okay, Lord. I just always believed in God. But as he have turned my life, and you're going to experience a cascade of happiness. You want to experience blessings and stuff like that. Yes, I do have a sad story, but that's the whoop. That's the past. But this is what happened after I took off the grave clothes. This is what appeared. So whatever you're looking for to appear, and you're a new person, and you're a new woman, and you're a new championship, and you're a new adventure, and you're a new getting your kids back together, your husband, or whatever you're trying to do. Most of all, to stay clean and sober. These right here is going down. This right here is coming on. This right here, this vagabond lady, in her mind, you might look cute and everything, but she's gonna leave too. And then what's going to happen and appear suddenly a new woman with new hope, with new gain for life. Not with the thought of wanting to have all of these issues, rejection, embarrassment, prostitution, health issues, death, what's that? Feeling of destitute, bad relationships, trying to hold on to a man, children taken away, legal issues, rape and molested, ashamed. All of these things that come with drug addiction is going to leave. You're going to learn to deal with them. Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Are you ready for your change? Are you ready to put everything into your life to make it happen? How old are you? Let me guess. I was going to say 23.
No, I'm 22.
Okay, I was close though. You got your whole life in you?
21.
21, it was in my head. I was going to say it like a curl, you know. 21, and you?
58.
58, you?
58.
I'm 62.
Girl, you look good.
Thank you. I'm 62 years old. But this is a transformation that happens to you in your life. You know, you want to learn to celebrate you. And so, this is what I do. And the road to recovery is always under construction. I didn't have any batteries. I put 2 batteries in here, but it didn't work. But you got to pull out the siren. You understand what I'm saying? When you start feeling, because you might have to go back to your own apartment. You might have to go back to your house where you live there. You might have to go back into the community where you come from. You have to set a plan. Don't leave here without a plan. You might have to go back to a husband, a boyfriend who smoke and drink. You got to set a plan, and you got to be concrete about it. And you always got to sound the alarm. Man, didn't I tell you I don't drink no more? Didn't I tell you I don't smoke no more? Didn't I tell you I don't shoot up no more? Leave me alone. You got to get ugly. Because you know what we're talking about? We're talking about your life. What do you want out of life? What is it? Out of drug addiction, because see, drug addiction is like, it ain't gonna talk back to us. My drug addiction told me, smoke me and I'm gonna do you like this. Drink me and I'm gonna make you act a fool. I'm gonna make you flip tables when you start. I was flipping tables. I was a crazy drug. You know? And it ain't gonna say, hey, LaTanya, don't smoke this. You might want to commit suicide after you do it. My drug addiction didn't tell me that. We have to fight for our own mindset. We have to become protectors of our heart and our soul. We have to be diligent. You know, we got the 12 step, we got AA, we got NA, we have the church, we have friends who don't use. You know, don't be going back to your old friends who still using, because you know what they gonna do? Girl, come on over here and let's get high and we can talk about it. Or you go over to her house, she's like, oh girl, you know what I do? Right? Anybody got some friends like that? I had some. Or were you like that loner person? Like, I ain't fooling with nobody. I'm just gonna smoke and drink on my own. But anyway, pull your emergency kit out. Don't play with it. If you need a Band-Aid on your heart, if you need to wrap yourself up like a mommy, if you got to put some ointment on the pains that hurt you from the past, put it on there with love. Put it on there with forgiveness. Put it on there with honesty. But keep your emergency kit with you. Don't leave out of this place with a plan. You gotta have a plan to set yourself up. Because if you don't have a plan, our drug addiction will come right around the corner and be like, see, I told you. See, I told you. Go take a hit. Go take a smoke. When you're finished with all of that, when you're finished with loving yourself and taking off the grave clothes, look, I guess I must be a drama queen. Look, you got to put the dukes up for life. For life. It can't be temporary. You can't be here on no honeymoon. Oh, I'm going to treatment for 30 days. That would be blah, blah. I'm going to gain my way back. I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be eating. You can't be here on no honeymoon. A honeymoon is fake. It just feels good for a moment. But when them people, when you get in it for life, see, sobriety is a lifestyle. It's not, and you'll be tempted all over. Alcohol is everywhere, right? Drug addiction is everywhere. Pill popping is all in the song. Take a piece of it. This Molly. They want you to do everything. They talk about it in the songs. But what? As a woman, as a champion, we have to fight for our life. We're not too old. Trust me, I know we're not too old. And you're not too young. Look. They made room in the graveyard for a 22-year-old. They sure did. And she belonged to me. They made room in there. Put her 6 feet under. So we are not, you hear about all the people that's dying from the fentanyl, the craving of the fentanyl and the opiates and all this kind of stuff like that. So y'all need to be vigilant about your lives. How many of y'all got a journal? Ain't nobody got no journal. You got one. You gotta get one. You got a journal? You were supposed to get a journal a long time ago. You got a couple extra.
Okay, there I got one.
You gotta get a journal. Get a journal and just start writing pour everything into your journal. Cause when I read that stuff that I wrote, I be like, oh, I wrote that, And guess what? I talked about my manifestation and the things that I wanted to do and how I wanted to turn my life around and how I thought I was going to do it. And it happened. It's because I put work into it. And I kept my light burning, inside of me for hope. And then on top of that, you got to have faith. They say this hands, these fingers are holding a mustard seed of faith. It is so tiny, but it can reach an exponential growth. And that's the way I feel inside of my soul. And I want you ladies to feel the same way because I'm no different from you all. When you start, let me tell you something. I wake up happy every day because I don't do drugs no more. I don't care what, look, the car no due, the rent is due, Mr. Bill is still knocking on my door and all this kind of stuff like that. And I don't stress myself. I be like, I get you when I get the right money to pay you. I ain't finna trip behind all of that. My happiness is so important to me until I guard it like gold. That's how my happiness is for me. Because I am too excited not to be a drug addict anymore. Y'all know what I'm talking. Let me feel something from y'all a second.
Yeah.
Like hooray or something. Hell no to the no. Fuck drugs, something. Just what? Let me feel y'all. And so you got to fight for your life. That's what you got to do. And you got to keep doing it because growth is every single day. day. You know, I woke up the other day and I was too excited because I realized that I have a stupid legacy. Not money, not tangible dead presidents, you know, but the Lord has allowed me to see my 5 kids, my 6 grandchildren, and my great-granddaughter. What? I was like, whoa. I didn't know all of that was going to come up out of me. I was too excited to think about it. And there's more to come. Sometimes I do get a hint of, oh, you're too old, you're getting old, you're about to hit the grave. I do feel like that sometimes. But for the most time, I just want to keep moving. And I'm always seeing what kind of change that I can bring about to my life. But the most thing is, you know, I did this book, and it's called Shadow Work. They sell it at Barnes & Nobles. And if y'all get a chance, you can order it. Get the book. And it talks about those ingrained things inside of you that you need to bring up and talk about it. And then also, you know, your counselor. And but you know my daughter, she always used a term like, she said, excavate the giant inside of you. You know, how many of y'all just have been depressed? Right? Low self-esteem. Suicidal. I got a mark on my arm right here. I'm like, I really tried to take myself out. I'm not gonna go, nothing like that, because that's too not girly, right? but it didn't work. And I'm so happy that God was looking over me that it did work. Until he said, I'm going to give you another chance. And so while I'm here in this phase of life, I am putting out what I've learned through my journey of recovery. And I'll do this until the day I die. You know, what do you do? What do you do? What kind of work do you do?
I work at a Michael's.
Okay, so retail. Yeah, that's good. And you can take that retail and you can turn it into new things for your life. You know how people come in there, they be like, this is what I want, you know? Recovery. Let's turn recovery into a retail store. We're in the recovery retail store and we're shopping. And I'm walking around. I was like, oh, I think I'll buy myself some balloons. Something that'll make me happy. Because it's your day. It's all about your happiness. And you are a superstar, right? So you say, okay, so you put this in your basket. That's in my basket right there. Then you come across these. You be like, no, I don't want bondage. Matter of fact, it's not my color. And it don't look good on me either. No, I don't want that. How about I get me some belief? Put that in your basket. Retail shopping for yourself. I'm going to put some belief inside my soul. And I'm going to start making a difference in my life. Right? So we're going to put this in the basket. Then, hold up, wait a minute. I see something else. It's like a soothing cream. It's like some faith that's going to go all the way through me. What they say? Faith without works is dead. So I think I'll put a little work in my life so I can make it better. I'm going to start off with a little mustard seed. They sell mustard seeds at the little health store. I think I'll get me some mustard seed and I'll start growing in my faith and my visions and my dreams and the things that I always wanted to do. Yeah, I think that's good to put inside of my soul. And I'm going to put it right there. Oh my gosh. How many ladies love candles? I think I'm going to keep my light burning inside of my soul. That nobody can't come and put it out. I think I'll put this in my basket too, right? Wow. My emergency kit. Boom, 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 boom. 911. What's your emergency? Just in case I need to put something. My hurt and my pain might want to come back. My tragedy moments might come back as a memory. My spirituality. I need God. I need Him to be my first aid kit. I think I'll keep that. I'll put that in the basket too. And what else would I put in there? This right here. Sound the alarm when something really starts, the emergency. Sound the alarm when something really starts getting crazy. I'm going to put this in there. Not only am I going to put that in there, I'm going to put it over here in my basket. And I'm going to start loving myself. Yeah. I'm going to start, I think I'll start loving myself, right? Because I'm the most important person in the universe. This is what recovery is about. We're taking these steps, and the steps are not easy, but we're taking these steps to heal because we don't want to be broken anymore. So I'm going to put this in my basket too. So we get to the cash register, right? Like the people do at Marshall's, right? But guess what? It's free. You ain't got to pay a dime for it. All you got to do is like activate it. You don't have to pay nothing for self-love, right? You don't have to pay nothing for, the balloons and start loving on yourself and start taking these steps. It's like I say, it's not easy, but it's worth it. And I'm going to tell you the truth. Once you start activating these things in your life, it becomes a part of you. It's not an imagination. It's not a false hope. It's not a lie. It's not none of that. It becomes, you actually start living that type of person. And me, I found out that I used to be afraid to be pretty and to look different, And nowadays I was just like, shoot, I'm gonna be me. It brings something out because be like, oh, maybe she wear too much jewelry. Maybe she wear, I don't know, but I don't care because I know where I come from, and I just love me, and I love people, and so and I'm not in a depressive mode anymore. And so then what I learned is that I celebrate me. I really do. I celebrate me as the queen that I am. And I'm like, wow. Bam. So I'm not the sophisticated girl anymore. I just love me. And I found my purpose in life. After drug addictions, you're still going to continue to work on yourself because we know relapse is, I know it. After 22 years, relapse is possible at any stage of life. So I need to protect myself. I need to put up I put up a barrier. And so then I come to the point where I just take a stance in life for me. This is my Statue of Liberty torch. Right? It's what I believe in. I take a stand for me and I walk in it. So since I've been down here in Florida, when I was a drug addict, active drug addict, I was a diabetic. For one, I stopped using drugs. For two, I stopped taking insulin because I changed my lifestyle. You find those pretty things about yourself that you like. I want to change the structure of my body. I want to change my health. I want to change. I got my teeth. I got some teeth. I got a beautiful smile. These are things that I did to help me to move along in my recovery. And then not only did I do that, I came out and I started something. I'm giving back. I give back. And so me doing that, let me make sure I pull out everything. Me doing this and giving back, I don't get paid for what I do. I love what I'm doing. I volunteer. But you know what? I spoke at the YMCA. And guess what? Let me show you. I got paid. I got paid. I most definitely got paid. But, woohoo. You become your own cheerleader. I did this, I did that. And actually, you know, I'm a creative person. You get to know your talent and your skills, and you get to know your self-worth, and you know what you can do, and you understand your creativity and the stuff that you do. You become amazed at yourself and the things that you can do. What was your drug of choice?
Alcohol.
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 Mm-hmm.
Crack.
Crack cocaine. That's a motherfucker.
Ain't it?
Shit. And alcohol is too. The alcohol ain't no joke, man. I was flipping tables. That man made me, man. I watched that. Boom. That malt liquor is what got me. That malt liquor. But did you do any other drugs other than it was just alcohol?
Weed.
But weed, yeah. And you? Did you try any other drug?
I did shrooms and whatever, just a few times. It was mainly just alcohol.
Okay. Yeah, so stay away. Warning, 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 warning. Please stay away. You have your whole life ahead of you, you know. This girl right here. And then, you know, older people. Shit, why are we still out there smoking crack and drinking and smoking and acting crazy? Tell me why.
She just had a hold on me, but I let it go.
I know.
I lost everything.
Yeah.
I'm just gaining my relationship back with my daughter. I broke her heart. I was clean 13 years. I started using again when I lost my mom.
Yeah.
You know, so
Okay, stop right there. See, we have to be aware of those critical issues that hit our life. Because anything can send us back. One of your critical issues is when you lost your mom. That was devastating. And the only thing you wanted to do probably at that time is numb that feeling. And when I tell you crack cocaine to make it numb, for a little while, because the high don't last long. It don't last long. You know, and then alcoholism too. What was your crisis you had in your life? Why do you drink the way you drink?
My best friend died 2 years ago.
Death. What about you?
I got a lot of different
Issues?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Work on them.
I have been.
Really put that in your journal. When you talk about your mom, put that in your journal. Because you're going to have to say goodbye to her. For real, for real. That's what the Lord told me. She can't come where you at, and you can't go to her. What about you?
My dad lost my daughter.
Lost your daughter. I remember you saying that. Yeah.
She was killed too.
Yeah, those things are so freaking painful. It's like what we gonna do? You can't describe death. You can't even put a definition on it. You can say the word, but the pain is unbearable. But how do we overcome and not go back to using drugs? Is the thing that we have to learn to do, right? How long your mom been gone?
since 2015.
Okay. It do get a hold on her. But look. I had okay, so what I wanna do, and I know we gotta get out of here, and y'all know I love what I'm doing, right? Can you tell? Woo! Happy hooray for recovery, right?
Right.
Yes. So I have a
I was putting a crown on
You
her.
put the
so-
crown on her head. And so I'm gonna sweep this up before we leave. But this is
Still here breathing, still finding my way.
but I wanted to celebrate your life.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. Oh my God. I want to thank everybody for coming, and No Limit Recovery is on the move. I'm moving and I'm shaking and I'm doing my thing. Please follow me on my YouTube channel, No Limit Recovery. I greatly appreciate it, and God bless you.